Caterina Harris Earl, at Gloria Mayfield Banks. All of us have a heavy presence on social media, and we want you to join us, follow us, because we have a lot to say in the year of 2022. And I guarantee you, you're not going to want to miss it. So we'll come back to you a little bit later about how you can win some amazing things from the Force of Friendship. So that's my commercial. And now I'm excited to have our girlfriends are here. I know it's a lot going on in the world, around the country. I have not really paid a whole lot of attention to what's going on in the news. We have perfect attendance. I think we have Gloria and Caterina. They're live on Facebook, and Sabrina, she's supposed to be. Maybe she's on the line. You know, the messy one. I'm sure she'll chime in. She says she's going to join us on the president of the Count for. But I don't know if we're not gonna give you perfect Facebook attendance. You're gonna get perfect attendance radio only, Sabrina. But
you're gonna be sorry. You're gonna be sorry that your messiness done rubbed off on Lady Crisette. That's what you're gonna be sorry, because it's becoming a hot mess in here.
Yeah, you messed with her. You messed with her yesterday, and she hosted today. That's dangerous.
I know.
Let me tell you something. One of the things my husband Chuck always said, and he said, always remember this: he or she that has the mic has the power. Always remember that. Always. And guess what? I do. So Sabrina, yeah, we're gonna be talking about you today. So I'm gonna toss it over to our girl Caterina Harris Earl on the West Coast. What's going on, Kat?
Oh my goodness. Well, first I want to welcome those of you that are listening on the radio, and apologize to those of you that are on social media, because I thought we were live and we weren't, but we live now. So welcome. It's so much good stuff happening, you guys. We just have to pause and remember. I know I'm not going to talk about in the news, Chris. You can bring it up if you want to, but I'm not going to talk about flu-rona. That's in the news, okay? The combination between the flu and the rona. I'm not talking about that, okay? We can circle back to that, but I'm going to tell you some news that would be exciting to know. Wall Street Journal today is reporting that big raises are coming in 2022. So make your game plan now. We could do a whole show on this. Somebody in our tribe knows someone who'd be great to talk about it. But can you believe that employers are gearing up to give raises? They have set aside 3.9% of total payroll for wage increases. And you guys can go look up the article. It gives you some pointers on how to position yourself. Make sure you get your piece of the pie. So if you don't get at least a 3.9% raise, your employer does not love you. Okay, so that is just good news, but a lot of it is because of inflation. So 3.9%, and if the gas go up 10%, maybe it's not really a raise, but it's more money on your check. So it's been so long since I worked for someone else, but I think 3.9% is like, that's big. That's not big. I heard that a lot of people get 1 or 2% raises. Like, y'all.
Whoa.
Right.
Hey,
exactly.
It's Winnie Wednesday. That's what we're talking about right there. That's what we're talking about. Right.
And you know what? Again, you have not, because you asked not. And in this environment, you should not be afraid to ask, especially when you know your worth and you know your value. So you know what? Go ahead, Sydney. All you do is win. Ask for that
no
20,000. Okay, that 20,000 raise. I love it.
If they're taking 3.9% of their total payroll, be clear, it's not going to everybody. It's going to go to some people like Sydney who get a $20,000 raise. That will be more than 3.9%. So you gotta negotiate. The best folks will get big raises, right?
The bottom line is what you're saying is that these companies are doing something to give more money. And that's a big deal, because they could be saying, I'm not giving you nothing. So they'll be glad to get something, because if gas goes up 10% and they're going to get 3.9%, at least they're not so far behind.
Moving in the right direction.
and you know what? I just recently saw an article just the other day that said in November, 4 million more people quit their job and said they're out of there. 4 million in November of 2021. So people are still leaving the workforce in droves. Either they're deciding to be entrepreneurs and to work from home, or they are now really understanding the power of the value of what they're worth, and they're asking for more, and they're not afraid like before, and think about it. It's so many jobs available. And you would think with unemployment where it was before the pandemic that, everybody that want a job can find a job, but people are really, being very selective as to where they're choosing to work and if they're choosing to work for other people. So it's just an interesting time. I know employers are like, really? They don't want to work for me? Really? I have all these openings. And yes, that's where we find ourselves. Right. Yeah, that's right, Gloria. They're saying deuces, peace out. So we're going to throw it over to you, Gloria. What's happening in Ellicott City?
Girl, I'm just excited. I had a hard workout with my Walter that Caterina has loaned to me. I'm going to be right if it kills me, for real. But I'm excited for the show because I love to talk about winning. I love to talk to people who like to win. I like to take people who thought they weren't going to be able to win and show them how to win. I mean, this is just so juicy good. I will tell you, what did you call her, Caterina? Corona? What'd you call her? Ronina?
Florona coming out of Israel.
Oh, that new thing, Florona, right. I do tell you, man, I go to the TV, watch it, then I turn it off. Go to the TV, watch it, then I turn it off. So, but I'm excited about this topic right here. So I'm gonna just talk a little bit further so that when we get to Sabrina, we got to go to break. No, I'm kidding. I'll throw it over to Sabrina.
See, she don't even want to talk when you give her extra minutes to talk. So
when I tell you our tribe came through, I said I'm looking for some turtleneck. I must have got about 25 different referrals.
No way.
Everything else. I'm serious. Beautiful. Alicia Maxie Green, my girlfriend, she wins it. Alicia, put a couple of those links that you send me in our chat, because it's cold in a lot of different places, and they need those fabulous turtlenecks.
I need them.
For real. So thank you, guys. Thank you for listening. Being supportive, and I'm going to be very warm. I mean, you guys, beautiful things. Yes. So thank you, Tribe.
Wow, that is so awesome. The power of the force of friendship, the power of our tribe. We truly appreciate that. And so we just want you to know, when we're asking for things, don't just be sending stuff to Sabrina. We're gonna look for you to send us emails and texts and all of that, so we can get what we need. Okay, as well. Don't even try it, Sabrina. So you guys, today is Winning Wednesday, and we're talking about what does it take to win in 2022. And I'm going to tell you, I know we're going to be going to a break in a few minutes, but let me just say this. This topic is one that every single one of these ladies in the Force of Friendship, they know all about winning. They know all about winning. And so trust me, this is going to be a great conversation, because these ladies right here, that's all they do is win, no matter what. And it doesn't mean that, we've not all had setbacks. We've not reached all the goals that we've ever set in our life. But I think winning, and I'm sure they all will agree, is a mindset. So you win no matter what. Even in your failure, you find a way to win, because you learn the lesson. And when you learn the lesson, then you know not to repeat it. So when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about, I'm going to give you 5 things that a lot of people do that causes them not to win. And then we're going to hear from the girlfriends, and they're going to give you their number one way that they have incorporated this particular thing in their life that has helped them to win. And of course, I know many of the things that they're going to say, they're like, I was going to say that. No, I was going to say that. But trust me, we have a long list of things that you can do to win. So right after the break, we'll come back. I'll talk about the things that can prevent you from winning, and then you'll hear from the girlfriends what they do to keep them on the winning side. You guys, you're listening to We Got Issues on 9:10 a.m. The Superstation. We're talking about Winning Wednesday. We'll be right back after this break. And they say that. Well, we are back. You are listening to We Got Issues with the Force of Friendship on 9:10 a.m. The Superstation. And this is Winning Wednesday, and we're talking about winning in 2022. Yes, I know. Can you believe we are in the first week of the new year? So if we're going to win, we got to hit the ground running. So real quickly, I'm going to tell you 5 things that can stop you from winning in 2022. Okay, so the first one is, and we've all experienced it, a lack of motivation. And one of the reasons that you can have a lack of motivation is that you just don't like what you're doing. How many people work for other people forever and a day, and they absolutely hate their jobs? Every day they go in, and every day they come home from work. How much their job? You know, success comes from what you do. We've heard the statement: if you love what you do, you will never work a day in your life. So, you know what? I want you to check and think about, do you love what you do? And if you say no, then that should cause you pause. And that will absolutely prevent you from winning. Number 2 is a lack of faith. Come on, we've all been there. We've all, had dreams, goals, and aspirations, but we're like, can I really, really do that? Because of course we know that faith is a firm belief in yourself. And one of the things we say a lot in our business is, if you think you can, you're right. And if you think you can't, you're right. So you know what? If you are going to think about being successful, you want to absolutely make sure that you're thinking about the fact that you have everything that you need inside to be successful. So you don't have to have a lack of faith. The third reason is The fear of failure. How many times do people sabotage themselves because self-sabotage? Because, if I've heard people, yeah, but if I achieve it, am I going to be able to maintain it? And all of the fears come rushing into your head. I remember there was a time where I wanted to achieve something, go to the next level, but then I started thinking about, but if I achieve it, what if this happened? What if that happened? And 101 questions. And then I finally had to have a coming to Jesus meeting with myself and said, you know what? Achieve it first. And then you can think about all the things you need to do to maintain it. So, Michael Jordan said, fear is an illusion. Isn't that interesting? Fear is only an illusion. And we know the acronym for fear is false evidence appearing to be real. The fourth reason is wrong strategy. Sometimes it's just a matter of tweaking what you're doing. So to achieve something really big, you got to have some mentors in your life. And you know what? I know all the girlfriends will say, we have mentored each other. And Gloria absolutely has been the mentor of us all. So you absolutely got to have the right mentors in your life, because the mentors that you choose should be doing something at such a high level that you can trust the strategies, the suggestions, and how they will help coach you through the process. And then last but not least is the limiting beliefs. What are the limiting beliefs that you hold about yourself? You have to be aware of your self-talk. You have to be aware of your thoughts, because they're so important and powerful. Even the Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And so one of the things I want you guys to gather on today is, what are all the I am statements that you make? Are there powerful behind I am, or are your I am statements limiting in who you are and who you can become? So that's just, and I mean, there are so many more things that can prevent us from being successful, but we're going to turn it now, and we're going to talk about the things that we know will help you be a winner. And so I am going to, whatever girlfriend, I have several things that I want to share, but I'm going to throw it over to Gloria. Gloria, oh my goodness, that is probably a song that when you walk out on stage, that could be your theme song is, all I do is win, no matter what. And sometimes people think that winning no matter what means that you're always on top. And I don't necessarily believe that is the case. I think that winning is an attitude. Even when I'm not number one, I can still say, I am a winner because I've achieved some things, or my mindset. So talk to us. What is, right, if you were going to tell our radio listening audience, or if you were sitting and you were mentoring someone, what would be your number one key to winning?
Wow, Chris, there's so many components to all that you just delivered. So many components. And a lot of it has to do with the person. A lot of it has to do with their background. A lot of it has to do with their imagination, their vision, but I was going to hone in on the one that says the fear of failure, because I know that we have a lot of fear of failure. So my number one thing that I tell people is, what is your passionate right now goal? Like, what is your passionate right now goal? We get so twisted and confused because of what we see way out there in the future, or what expectations other people have for us. But you can say, I have a goal, but are you passionate? And then I say, okay, I have a goal, but is it right now, or is it in 6 months? Is it right now? If it's a goal, is it really clear? Is it a goal, or is it a strategy? Which one is it? Because it's amazing. I always use this example. If you're having Thanksgiving dinner and it's Sunday, you don't feel like cleaning up the house. You just don't feel like. You got too many things to do, and there's other things you want to do. And then it's Monday and you just don't feel like it. You just don't feel like it. And it's Tuesday and you go grocery shopping, but you still don't feel like cleaning up the house. And Wednesday comes and you start cleaning up that house, because the goal is clear. Thursday is coming and your mother-in-law is coming and your house looks a hot wreck, right? And you didn't have the energy on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but you knew it was happening. But it became a right now, passionate, clear goal. And you can stay up all night, all Wednesday cleaning up. So to me, that's one of the most important things for me, is teaching other people how to find their right now passionate goal.
Wow, that's powerful because, the statement, a confused mind does nothing. And it's so easy to be all over the place. But I love the clarity of the right now, the focus of the right now, and the energy that you can put into the right now as opposed to being all over the place. So I hope you all wrote that down. Having a right now passionate goal. We got to be passionate. This year, we're going to be more passionate about our goals. I'm going to throw it over to Caterina. Give me your number one winning Wednesday tip.
Yes. Mine is, this is probably not the word I would have used, but now after going through this process, I'm using it and I'm calling it pause. Take a pause. A new year gives us an opportunity to pause, to look at what we've done, what we didn't do, what we wanted to do. It's not analysis paralysis. It's not beating yourself up, and it's not necessarily even resolutions, but it's pause. And so today I had a meeting, like a meeting on the couch. There's meetings you have with your husband in the bedroom, and there's meetings, to talk about intimate stuff in your life. And then there's meetings like a family business meeting. And so it's like we sat down and we started having a family business meeting about what do we want this year to look like? What do we want to create? What do we want? And so it's easy to just go through and not do that. We've got to pause. And so I have a whole list of questions that I started it last night, and I started going down and writing down like just 2 things that I'll share, Chris, that I wrote down. List 12 things. I wrote down 12 things that I want to create this year. And then I started asking myself some hard questions about what will it take to accomplish this? And what do I keep putting off? And I wrote down some of my bug list items about, and so there's just it's a whole series of questions that help to get just lazy, crazy, what is it that has stopped me from going from here to there? And so pause is my word. You got to take time to pause yourself, family, business, in order to create something new. It doesn't just happen because it's a new year.
Wow. And Caterina, that is so powerful to pause. I love the fact that you took the time to write down questions because, when we talk about winning, no matter what, it's not just in business, it's in your marriage, it's in your family, it's in every aspect of your life, because we can look at people that have won in one area, but another area of their life is a complete mess. And so, if you win in your business, but your family is a mess, who cares about all the money that you have that you would not be able to enjoy it? So I love that you took the time to put those 12 things. And so as we're talking about, winning, I want this to be a conversation about winning in life, not just in one aspect, but in life. So I'm going to throw it over to Sabrina. And Sabrina, if you don't have enough time, we'll come back to you at the break. So go ahead, Bree.
Satisfied. You can't win in one area and lack in another and still be happy. And so I think being a winner in life really means learning how to grow as a person while creating wonderful, healthy, happy relationships along the way. For me, that's very important. And so winning is, you define winning for yourself. Winning is different for everybody. But I think you have to really know what winning is for you. You don't let anybody else define winning for you. You must define it, you must know it, and you must be willing to become it.
Right.
Winning is an action verb. It's doing it. It's a state of being. And so I believe that if we focus on winning, we're focusing on who we be. And who do we be? I want, like Caterina, a new year, and Chris, this is a great topic because everybody wants to be better. Of course, we all want to be better. There's something at the beginning of the year that you set new goals, that you have your sights set on other things that are going to make you better. So I just think who you be, focusing on not so much a task or a goal, but really focusing on who are you. What are your characteristics? What assets do you possess to become a winner? I think that's the music playing.
It is. Oh my goodness, that was so good, Sabrina. Focus it on you, who you want to be. You guys, you're listening to We Got Issues with the Force of Friendship on 9:10 a.m. the Superstation. We're talking about this winning Wednesday. All we do is win, no matter what. We're going to continue to talk about what it takes to be a winner in 2022. We'll be right back after this break.
Everybody hands on. And they say that, and they say that, and they say that.
All right, we're coming back. We're coming back hot off of this break. We are talking about winning Wednesday and what we need to do to win in 2022. I love that. This is what I need to do to win in 2022. And I'm telling you, these are some smart women. And you know what I know about individuals, and you can look from Oprah to Steve Jobs to so many other individuals who we consider to be winners, that they weren't always winners. There were probably times in their lives that they probably felt like losers. But one of the things that they didn't do is they didn't quit. And I think that is another very powerful thing that we all need to know. I was just thinking about, you know, one of my favorite Christmas is, and Scrooge, you know, the his entire life and trying to tell him, you know, this is how you're going to end up if you do not change. And it's such a beautiful story, because what it tells you, as long as you still are alive, it doesn't matter what limiting thoughts you had. It doesn't matter what you were taught. It doesn't matter all the things that you've done wrong in the past, because you know what? It's never where you start. It's where you're finished. And I love how that movie ends by saying that Scrooge for all of the things he did wrong at the beginning of his life, he did so many things right at the end that people didn't even have a conversation about what he didn't do. He became an example for other people. And that's what I want to encourage you, regardless of where you are right now in your life. Maybe you feel like you're walking around with an L on your head. I'm sure some of the girlfriends have felt like that. I'm not going to speak for them, but I know there have been times when I felt like there was an invisible L on my head, but thankfully, it didn't stay there. So I'm going to switch the conversation now and, ask the girlfriends to share with us a time in your life where you really felt like a loser or you felt like a failure. And then specifically, what did you do to turn it around? So I'm going to start with Caterina. Caterina, can you give us a time in your life?
And that also came with me being kind of separated and put into a different division. And I felt some kind of way about that. That was a challenging time. But I can also say that, it comes from that trait and it's in you. It's like there's always that big you or that little you. And I'm like, okay, I know you ain't fixing to punk out. Okay. This is it's a comma, not a period. So
right.
Suck it up, princess, and get your stuff together. You talk to yourself in all caps. Like I had an all caps conversation in my head. And sometimes God allows those things to happen because maybe I would still be stuck if I wasn't put off in a way where it was like, this is the room, all your girlfriends are in the room and you can't go in the room. It's up to you, and so get it together or leave it alone. And I chose to get it together. So that was some kind of way. I know you guys can all relate to that in some way professionally. So it's challenging when it feels like all your friends are progressing or moving in their career and you are not. So
wow, that's a good one. I'm gonna, and I think write that down. You have to talk to yourself in all caps. I love that, Caterina.
I did. I wrote that down.
Get it together, girl. Get it together. Who wants to go next, Sabrina or Gloria?
I'll go next. I love what she said about all caps conversation in your head. And I know our friend Michelle Calvert says, talk like you mean it from your chest. Talk like you mean it from your chest. So you know what? I'm going to talk about a personal time when I really felt like a failure because I had to go through a divorce. And divorce wasn't anything that was prevalent in my life. It wasn't my parents, my father's from a family of 13. There was no divorce over there. It just wasn't divorce. It wasn't the conversation. I wasn't familiar with it. So I didn't have girlfriends who had gone through it. So I was feeling like, what am I supposed to do here? And I just did not know what to do. And then, like you said, Caterina, the big girl inside of me had to get up, had to wake up. And I can honestly tell you guys, it was a flip of a switch because it was a time when I just said, that's it. You can't cry anymore. You can't be indecisive anymore. You need to make a decision. Now, I will tell you, that's the power of girlfriends. Because I've told this story often. My first cousin called me and she says, what is going on with you? I'm sick of it. And in that moment, when she said, I'm sick of this, is when the light bulb went on for me and I quickly shifted to another place that I wasn't a loser. That it's not all my problem. I got to do something quick. What am I going to do to move on from here? How am I going to put myself back where I know I belong in the winner's circle, even if it's in the winning relationship? And for me, that winning meant I was going to be a single parent and I was going to do it with excellence. I was going to have to do that. And so sucking up that emotional management was one of the biggest lessons. So we all know that from our failures, we get big lessons. And so that was my story.
Wow, that's very powerful. Sabrina, you want to go?
Sure. I have to be really hard because I'm a winner.
Oh,
I've won most of the Lord. Oh my God. Okay, I'm talking about when have you never felt like, when have you not felt like a loser? We can write a book on this, right?
When have you not felt like?
When have you not felt like? That's funny. Exactly. Seriously, you guys, life is difficult. Life is big. Life is major. It's a one thing, it's a doggone nothing. And so it really is a mentality, and you have to work on it every day to be a winner. You have to work on it the right part of the day. You're feeling really good, life hits you, and you're feeling like a loser. So then you have to scramble and fight and say, okay, I'm going to win this moment. I'm going to win the hour. If you focus on winning the minutes, the hours, they turn to the days. Then the days turn to the weeks. And so I just want to try to know that these girlfriends win, but we fight to win. Right. It is a decision. And life is what it is. It hits us. It's coming from the left. It's coming from the right. If it ain't your parents, then it's your kids. If it ain't the kids, then it's the dog. But the bottom line is, I'm so grateful that I've made a choice to surround myself with people who remind you of who you are. And that's important, to surround yourself with a circle of influence. When people show you who they are, you best believe them. Everybody in the huddle is not cheering for you. Right. And you got to recognize that. That's for real. You got to say for real. And then there are those basement people, and there are the balcony people. And we got them all in our inner circle most of the time, but you got to recognize. And so I just think I've been very clear early on in life who is with me, who's against me, and I have to decide to be a winner for myself and not be, don't worry about what the world is saying about you, what they're saying to you. You have to listen to the little you inside of yourself. And so I just go real deep. When I'm feeling down and not like a winner, I go straight to the Bible, get those uplifting scriptures. I listen to one of my favorite pastors, Bishop T.D. Jakes, does it for me. I just need to hear his voice, and that turn, you get me straight fast. Quick, fast, and I heard it. And so I think it's music, I think it's ministry, I think it's girlfriends. When you're not feeling like a winner, do something that makes you feel better, and then get in motion to win. You know, we all get down, but the thing is, don't stay down. Right. Pick yourself right. That does it for me.
Wow, Sabrina, you definitely said a mouthful. It's so many things that you can do that are available to you to help you go from a loser to a winner. When I think about, times in my life when I felt most like a loser, and I know that everybody can relate to this, is every time it's comparison. When I found myself comparing myself to other people. I mean, you're talking about the wind blowing out of your sail. You talking about just not being able to go forward because you're looking at other people. And what I know about comparison is we compare our worst qualities against their best qualities. And so, I can just remember times where I thought, oh, this person is better than me at the mic. I can't, I'm not funny at the mic. I'm not this, I'm not that. And, I talked about earlier how important it is to have mentors. And, I always mention that particular time in my life because it really was a time that could have either made me or broke me, as far as feeling that I had a voice and feeling like I had something to say. And I remember we were all at an event together, and I went to Gloria after one of our friends spoke, and we all know she's very funny. I mean, she opened her mouth and you just start laughing before one word comes out of her mouth. And you know how it is, you guys, you hate following people that go to the mic and they're just so brilliant. They're so funny, and they have the audience eating out of their hands. And you're like, why? And then you're all in your head about why you have to follow them. And I remember following them, and I'm talking and I'm looking for the same reaction. Of course, I didn't get it. And so the more, and that's the other thing, the more you start thinking about it, the worse it becomes, because you begin to become the person that you think you are. And after that event, I went to Gloria, and I said, Gloria, I just want to be better at the mic. I wasn't good. She was, 101 things. And Gloria said to me, Crisette, you can never be her. So get over it. And that's one of the things about winning. You got to understand who you are and stop trying to be somebody else. God made us unique and different. Exactly. We are not born to be a carbon copy of anyone. So that was one of the best things, Gloria, that you could have ever sown into my life, is that, Crisette, you are not that person that's going to have everybody cracking up at the mic. You're more of an inspirational speaker. So hone in on that gift that you have, build that up, and guess what? You will be just fine at the mic. And that is a great way to segue into our break. You're listening to We Got Issues on 910 a.m. The Superstation. We're talking about Winning Wednesday. What do you do to win in 2022? We want you to call. Tell us what's your best tip for winning in 2022. Call us at 313-778-7600. We'll be right back after this break. All right, we're coming back. We are coming back. We are listening to 910 a.m. The Superstation, and this is our Winning Wednesday. All we do is win no matter what. We're talking about winning in life. And you know what? Winning in life is not always easy. You have to fight for the win. Life doesn't just say, oh, you're alive, so you're going to win. That ain't how it works. You got to fight for the win. I'm going to talk about a few things that winners do, and then I'm going to have the girlfriends jump in and talk about some other things that you know that you do in order to win. One of the things that I know has always been a part of winners is that they show up even when they don't feel like it. Okay, let's talk about We Got Issues Monday through Friday from 6 to 7. And then, you know, our girlfriend, Caterina Harris Earl from the West Coast had the bright idea. We're going to go on Facebook Live because, you know, those of you that have been with us since we started radio only. And when I tell you, we were showing up looking at us. Couldn't look like radio. But I tell you, we got to throw on lashes, lipsticks, get our hair done, and all of that. But you know what? We show up when we don't feel like it. And that is really what winners do. I can't imagine how many times, people who we look at, the Oprah Winfrey's of the world, have had to show up even when there was bad press about them. So you know what? You just got to show up. So that is absolutely one of the attributes of a winner. And then one of the other things is when they're winning, they try even harder. We celebrate the win, but you gotta go ahead and set the next goal. Sometimes, people win and like, oh, I won, so that's it. No, a winner is always thinking about the next win. So those are two things that I know that winners do. So one of the girlfriends, whoever want to jump in, give us another winning tip on this Wednesday.
I want to say that winners tend to serve others. Winners tend to serve others. They tend to serve others back and forth. And when you serve other people and you can take your attention off of yourself, you can really quantum leap yourself much further, because I'm really looking at how I can support you, even if in my supporting you moves me forward. And I'm honest about it and I'm clear about it. I want to win, and what you do impacts what I'm going to do, but I'm going to make it crystal clear what you can do to serve yourself, and I want to serve you to get better. So I think winners, when you look really up at people that you admire, it's because they are really, really passionate about helping other people be better.
Wow, that's powerful. Winners are servers. That's easy. Winners are servers. And we know the Bible says those that would be the greatest among us are the ones that are servants. So that's very powerful. Caterina or Kat, who wants to add?
That's what Gloria took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say that because I think about a posture of a winner. Sometimes we see someone's success, and because we just see the outside and we admire that, but it's how they're postured on the inside. So I think winners also take responsibility when it doesn't go right. I mean, they really take responsibility to say winning is my responsibility, and if these other circumstances are taking place in my life, I can still win regardless, because a winner can always find someone who had your circumstances or even worse who won. And there's this woman we're following. Many of us are following her on social media. Gosh, we just pray for her. But I don't know if you guys have seen that she is chronicling while she's dying. Nora posted about her. She is chronicling her life. Talk about it. Talk about it, Sabrina, because I know you probably read even more of it than I did.
I can't hear you, Caterina.
Okay. Sabrina may have read more of it than I did, but you talk about a winner. Even as she's dying, her mentality is unbelievable. Wow. Tell us what you read, Sabrina.
Okay, so you're going out, Caterina. We couldn't hear the last part of what you said.
Yeah, I was just saying for Sabrina could have chimed in. I was trying to chime her in if she wanted to add something to it. But it's just the mentality of taking responsibility for your win. Winning is your responsibility, and when you don't win, it's also your responsibility. Don't blame somebody else when it don't go your way, and then take credit when it does go your way.
Awesome. Sabrina.
Caterina was referring to, you guys, this letter was so amazing. Talking about winning to the end. This lady's story, it was written on shared on December 23rd on Facebook, and she said, I'm starting hospice. I recently left my doctor's office with referral to hospice. Hospice is end-of-life care. Over the last 2 years of battling my connective tissue disorder, my health has been in a downward spiral. Specialist after specialist have given up on the appreciative side. All treatments have failed. I have fought very hard for a very long time. With much prayer, godly counsel, and medical advice, God has made the way forward clear. It's time to go home. Honestly, I left my doctor's office with a giant smile on my face. My heart is overjoyed, contemplating being in the fullness of God's glory. Conversely, I have been grieving with friends and family as they must say goodbye. Death is awful, but for the believer, it's just the beginning. We will start the process of taking me off medications on January 17th. I will die by the end of February. Please pray for the comfort for my grieving family and friends. Please also pray that I will run the rest of my race well. You guys, now that's the winner, right?
Wow. Now that is powerful. When I say powerful letter, one of the most powerful letters that I've ever heard from a person who knows that they are about to die. It's just a total different perspective, which lets us know that we get to choose how we see things. And that is the epitome of seeing the glass half full as opposed to half empty. I mean, that is so powerful. Sabrina, you want to add one other thing that you think?
What's her name? Because we can all follow her. What's her name? Because we can all follow her on social media. And do you have her name? Okay.
Okay. Well, you know what? I know we're getting ready to come to the end of the show, but I thought this was very powerful. One of the things that winners do, they know that winning is rented and the rent is due every day. Isn't that powerful? Winning is rented and the rent is due every day. And so it is, it is so important that we maintain the mindset of a winner. This is 2022, and I believe that God has more for us in 2022. I believe that it's just a matter of having a mindset, and we hope that many of the things that we shared on today will help you have the best 2022. You guys, early on, before we were able to get on live on Facebook, I talked about every Wednesday is going to be a winning Wednesday. We're going to talk about things that you can do to win in life. So we want you to help us to grow our tribe. We want you to follow us on Facebook. We want you to introduce us to your friends. We're going to have some giveaways. And guess what? You just might be the winner on that winning Wednesday. We're gonna do some exciting things in this new year. We're excited that you are a part of our tribe. And again, we are loud about it. We want to blow up the force of friendship. We got issues. So if you're enjoying being a part of our tribe, we absolutely want you to share. And also have them follow us on the Force of Friendship Facebook page, as well as on each of our social media at Lady Crisette, at Caterina Harris Earl, at Gloria Mayfield Banks, and at Sabrina Goodwin Monday. You have been listening to We Got Issues with the Force of Friendship on this winning Wednesday. And we will see you on tomorrow. Peace out.
Awesome.
All we do is win, win, win.